Contender regime boxing checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? What's happening? Live recap. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Rolly Romero. It was a very, very entertaining night of boxing, I must say. The fight went exactly how I expected it to go. You know, very, very entertaining night. And also the things that were taking place surrounding the fight, I think deserves a discussion as well. So I definitely want to, chop it up with y'all, man. See what y'all thought about the fight. We did go live immediately after the fight last night just to kind of get an immediate reaction in the moment. I wanted to kind of get an idea for how you guys felt about the immediate action. Man, but we got a few things to talk about. Shout out to my brother Jay Harris too, real in the building, man. What's good, bro? What's good? Appreciate you for pulling up, man. Shout out to the brother D Savage in the building. What's happening? Make sure y'all hit that like button as you slide through, man. It's greatly appreciated. You know what I'm saying? Greatly appreciated. Tank Davis delivered, man. Gervonta Tank Davis delivered. He came in. You know what I'm saying? Put on the show. And like I said last night, I want to give Rolly Romero credit as well. Rolly looked better than I thought he was going to look. Shout out to the brother Andre Williams in the building. What's good, man? Salute. Rolly actually did better than I thought he was going to do. It seemed like they actually had a game plan. Shout out to the brother Tez Frank in the building. What's good, man? Appreciate you for pulling up. It seemed like they actually had a game plan, and Rolly was doing a good job of carrying out that game plan, man. Applying pressure, using his size to cover ground. He was more patient than I thought he was going to be. He didn't lunge in as often as I thought he would. Shout out to my brother Skinny Too Litty in the building. What's good? Judah in the building. What's good? Shout out to the brother Native Black Faculty in the building. What's happening? Native Black Faculty Conversations. I got to get your name right, brother. What's good? It seemed like they had a respectable game plan, something that could have worked long term had Rolly really had that experience going deep in fights, or really had the foundational, boxing skills on this level to be able to sustain that type of game plan. But I knew that at some point Tank Davis was going to line Rolly up with a good shot. All he needed was just to make one mistake. He just needed Rolly to make one mistake, and he did. He got a little bit too aggressive when he had Tank backing up towards the ropes. But all that was Tank just setting the trap for him, because he knew at some point, he was going to catch that dude. He knew at some point he was going to catch him, and that's exactly what happened. Shout out to my brother Punch Perfect Boxing in the building. What's good? All the way from the UK. What's good, man? PSO Lyric in the building. What's good? Said I caught you on the live, my guy. What it do, man? What's good, man? I appreciate y'all for coming through, man. Shout out to Malik Shabazz in the building. Tank sent his ass to the shadow realm. Yeah, man. Yeah, it was. I must say the fight was more competitive early on than I thought it would be. Like I said, Rolly, he used his size, his strength to cover ground. He was throwing the jab. He was keeping Tank hands in his pockets at some points in that fight, because Tank, he even admitted after the fight, he said, hey, man, that dude got real power. That's one thing I say, he got real power. So Tank understood that, man, look, I can't go out here and just, get caught cold or, be reckless just because I'm more skilled than this guy. Tank knew that he had to be focused in this fight, and he knew he had to be patient in order to allow that shot that he hit Rolly with to come into fruition, and it did. And that's just a testament to the maturity of Tank Davis, to the ring IQ, the ring savvy of Tank Davis. That's just a testament to his growth as a fighter and his mentality. You know what I'm saying? But, like I said, Rolly, I don't know why he didn't do the post-fight interview. because he don't have nothing to be embarrassed about. He put up a nice little fight. He put up a nice little fight. I did pick I picked Tank to stop Rolly within 6, and that's exactly what happened. He stopped him in 6, but it was just more competitive than what I thought it was gonna be. Shout out to my brother Big Mike, Real Talk TV in the building. What's good with you, man? What's good? Mac J88 in the building. What's good? If he had more fights under his belt, he would have won. I ain't gonna say all that. Shout out to my brother Justin Coleman in the building. What's good, man? Said I ain't mean to do that. Man, you got your phone in your pocket, bro. Come on now. Don't be in here hitting balls with that wrench like that, man. Hey, that's my brother, man. Justin Coleman in this bitch, man. What's good? Shout out to the brother Vigilante Cato in the building. What's good with you, man? Oh, man. They hit my boy Andre Williams with the wrench, man. I see you got him unhidden already. Said he came out and did the post-fight interview, bruh. He came out late. Yeah, Rolly had nothing to be ashamed of. I don't know why he just walked out like that. I don't know if he was still like concussed from the punch. You know what I'm saying? I think he should have stayed, man, and let the people, hear what he had to say. But I understand the frustration. I understand in a moment like that, the biggest fight of your career, the biggest fight of your life. You know what I'm saying? You talked all this shit leading up to the fight. You had supreme confidence in yourself. Remember, I asked y'all a serious question. I asked, how much of this is real confidence and how much of this is pure delusion? You know what I'm saying? But I think Rolly was legitimately confident in himself. You know what I'm saying? But I really would have liked for him to stay and do an interview after that. You dig what I'm saying? But to the brother that said if he had more fights, he would have won. I don't necessarily agree with that because I think at some point Tank would have separated himself in terms of skill in that fight. I feel like the longer that fight went on, the more it favors a guy like Tank Davis because he's shown the range in his ability. He's shown the versatility. You know what I'm saying? We know that he has power from round 1 to round 12. You seen what he did to Mario Barrio. Stopped that man in 11th? Tank Davis is just a different type of guy, man. Different animal. Incredibly skilled fighter, man. And I don't think he gets enough credit for what he got up here. I don't think he get enough credit for that. He's become way more patient over the last couple of years. A lot of fighters would have, when they got a guy like Rolly Romero, who's physically imposing, strong. Tank even mentioned that after in the post-fight interview. He said, hey, man, that dude, he really was strong, like physically. You got a guy like that that's physically imposing. He's a bigger guy. He's a very strong guy coming through with a nice little jab, and he was consistent with the jab as well. And he got power. A lot of fighters would have folded in a situation like that, but Tank was very, very patient. Dave's Kate out there in the building. What's good? I feel like Rolly showed up for Tank, how Porter did versus Spence. That's a great point. He really got up for that fight. Said, even though I think Porter is way more skilled, but I understand what you're saying. I know you're not comparing the fighters. You're comparing the situation. I get it, and I totally agree. Said that was the best version of Rolly I seen, but Tank is levels above that goofy shit. Good fight though. I totally agree, bro. I totally agree. That's exactly what happened. Rolly Romero gave the best account of himself. That was the best, like literally, that was the best Rolly Romero that I seen. Because in the Anthony Yiggett fight, he was all over the place. It seemed like he couldn't keep his balance for the life of him. And then in the Marinez fight, he was getting hit with the jab all day. Now, granted, Marinez is a taller, longer guy, good boxing ability, different style from Tank. But, he didn't look good in that fight at all. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the brother Seen and Unseen Boxing in the building. What's good? Said, I cleaned up last night. I bet the round and hit Tank. He said, Tank lunched that boy head into the 6th row. Hey, man. I told y'all, hey, look, y'all remember last night when I did my immediate post-fight reaction, what I said? I said, I said Rolly looked like Raw Dog off Martin. You know, remember when Martin, you know what I'm saying? Martin had got beat up by Tommy Hearns, had that boy, had that boy all over the ropes with his chin and shit on the ropes looking crazy. And people really brought that meme out. I posted it on Instagram like after I did the show. But bro, that's crazy. I said, bro, look like Raw Dog. And people literally came with that meme like moments later. That's crazy. Bro, look like Raw Dog, man. Hey man, y'all better my boy Jay Harris Too Real said, hey man, hit that like button, man. Y'all heard the brother. Hit that like button. Jay Watch 4 in the building was good. Said Tank's IQ is severely underrated. Severely underrated, bruh. Severely underrated. I mean, come on, man. Gervonta Tank Davis is a thinking man in that ring. He's a thinking man. My boy Justin Coleman said Rolly ain't know where he was. He asked his dad what happened walking. He asked his dad what happened walking back. Man, said Devin Haney posted it too. Yeah, man, you know, said Rolly been talking all this shit. Hey, you gotta take it how it come. You know, when you just like Blair to Flair. You know what I'm saying? When you know, you talking that you know that big that tough Tony talk. You know what I'm saying? You know, you talking that tough Tony talk, man. When that shit, when it go bad for you, you gotta stand in the fire and take that shit. It is what it is, you know. But I think Rolly is gonna bounce back, and I think he'll put up a good fight versus some other top guys. Somebody in the chat, one of the brothers just said that they would like to see Rolly versus Pitbull Cruz. I like that fight a lot. That's a barn burner. That right there is fireworks. I like that fight a lot. I'm a huge fan of Isaac Cruz. Ever since the Tank Davis fight, Isaac Cruz, you know, when you get in there with Tank, guys get in there with Tank, they bringing their best stuff. You know, so far ain't none of it worked out for none of them. But you know, when guys get in a ring with Tank, they bringing their best stuff. And Isaac Cruz, he brought his best stuff versus Tank, and he looked good. You know, and then you see his next fight versus Gamboa, he go in there and send his ass to the gulag. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to see Rolly Romero versus Isaac Cruz. I think that's a very fun fight to watch. Very fun fight to watch. Somebody going to sleep. Somebody going to sleep. Shout out to the brother SB in the building. What's good? Jay in the building. What's good? Rolly versus Ryan Garcia. Yes, sir. Oh, we going to talk about that too. We going to talk about Ryan Garcia ass too. Shout out to the brother Counterpunch in the building. What's good? Says Shakur with outbox Tank. Before we get into Shakur Stevens, before we get into Ryan Garcia, I want to talk about Shakur Stevenson as well. Shout out to the brother, the voice of Farian in the building. What's good? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother, It's All Real. T-Stroke in the building, man. What's happening? Appreciate you for pulling up on me, dog. You know what I'm saying? Let me hit my boy with that wrench. You know what I'm saying? That's family right there, man. Salute. You know, shout out to my brother Jay Harris Too Real in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said Tank's IQ is underrated as fuck. He showed patience, skills, and explosiveness. Facts. Facts. Incredible fighter, dog. Incredible fighter. Incredible fighter. So I don't know if y'all seen EJ and Ryan bet 20,000 on the fight. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. But look, somebody just brought up Shakur Stevenson. I think that is a hell of a fight. Shout out to my brother G5 Gabe in the building, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to G5 Gabe, man. Great boxing channel, dog. Great boxing channel. You know what I'm saying? Putting on for the city of Dallas, Texas, man. You know, real talk. You know, doing that shit in a major way. Big facts. But look, Shakur Stevenson, after the fight, he was doing an interview with Fight Hype, I believe. And, you know, he said, I feel like I'm the only one that can beat Tank. Shakur Stevenson said, I'm the only one that got the skills to beat Tank. What y'all think about Shakur Stevenson versus Tank? Is that fight a realistic possibility? And how y'all see that shit playing out if it were to take place? You know, we have been getting great fights lately, fights that we want to see. We got ERROL Spence and Terrence Crawford all but done coming up soon. So I don't think it's far-fetched that that fight can happen. But if it was to happen next or in the near future, how y'all see that fight playing out? Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson. Mark D in the building. What's good, man? Appreciate you for pulling up. 410 Boxing Fanatic in the building. What's good, my brother? Said, I think that's an intriguing matchup. Definitely. Very intriguing. Shakur too sharp for all of these guys, in my opinion. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Tank wins to me. Tank versus Shakur 50-50. Hey, man, I can't disagree with nothing y'all saying. Shout out to the brother Marvin Banks in the building. What's good? That'll be a heck of a fight. Facts. Tank wins 10th round TKO or 10th round KO. Tank with his experience can beat Shakur. Tank Shakur 50-50. Shakur versus Tank is a super mega fight. Definitely. I don't disagree with nothing y'all saying, bro. Bro, y'all speaking facts. Y'all speaking facts. That's a hard fight for me to call because I hold Tank and Shakur Stevenson skill-wise and pedigree to a very high regard. And even though I've said in the past, and I'm going to stand on that, just at least for right now, things can change, but I favor Tank over everybody right now from 140 on down. Those three divisions that he moonlight at, that he fight at, 30, 35, and 40, I favor Tank over all those guys. But when you start mentioning names like Shakur Stevenson, in particular Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, I actually like Shakur Stevenson's chances versus Tank better than I do Devin Haney, but I think Devin Haney, that's a very competitive fight that Devin Haney could win versus Tank. You know, but I just favor Tank. I just think he can do everything those other guys can do, but he also have that other level. He got that one hitter quitter. He got that special effect that sometimes you just can't account for. You know, insane athletic ability. He does things, quick twitch muscles. I mean, he does things that, you know, you can't teach. You know, he does things that you can't teach. That's a great fight, bro. Iron Eagle in the building. Salute, family. What's good? DP's in the building. What's happening? You know what I'm saying? Appreciate everybody for pulling up, man. Appreciate that. That's a great fight, bro. I definitely think I agree with y'all saying that it's a 50-50 fight with Shakur and Tank Davis. If I had somebody put a gun in my head, man, and said, bro, you got to pick somebody right now, I have to roll with Tank just because of, like somebody mentioned, the experience. And I don't even really think, I would say experience in big fights, but at the same time, Shakur is a silver medalist, Olympian. You know, he has pedigree. He's been, you know, in the ring, in the gym with Hall of Fame fighters, you know, has been able to be shoulder to shoulder with Terrence Bud Crawford, you know, ERROL Spence, but trained with some of the best. I mean, when you talk about pedigree, Shakur Stevenson is the definition of pedigree. A student of the game. Same thing with Tank Davis. I mean, and they both southpaw. It's going to come down to whether or not Shakur Stevenson can keep Tank Davis at bay for the duration of the fight. I think Shakur Stevenson is probably not even I think he is top 3 when it comes to distance control in the sport of boxing. Being able to control a guy, keep him at distance with a great jab, fast counters, and good foot movement, good foot placement, you know, being able to take those half steps back. You know what I'm saying? If he can keep Tank Davis at the end of a jab and force Tank to lunge in and just keep catching him with counters all night, and be able to survive 12 rounds, he wins that fight. But I think Tank Davis at some point will find his range, crash the pocket, and be able to get on the inside, man, and you know, do some damage. And then we'll really have to see, do Shakur Stevenson have a chin? You know, what's his ability to make adjustments when shit get rough? If he get hurt, how does he respond? Those are gonna be questions that will get answered in a fight like that. Said I think Tank KO ability give him the edge slightly. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, man. Because when you look at it in terms of just pure boxing skill and ability, I mean those guys are neck and neck. I might even have to lean towards Shakur just maybe a tad bit when you just talking about pure fundamental boxing skills. But it's really like they neck and neck, and then the IQ, both of them have high ring IQ. But Tank just got that, you know what I'm saying? That's a great fight. That's a great fight. Said if Shakur got popped, that can make Tank hesitate. Shakur will win. And you know what? I think he actually does, man. I don't think Shakur has devastating power, but he definitely has respectable power. Shakur Stevenson isn't a guy that you just gonna run in the ring and just do whatever you want. You ain't finna just go in that bitch and crash out like it's like something sweet. He pop your ass with something, you gonna feel it. Now, Tank has shown that he got a pretty decent beard on him. He got a nice chin. He's been able to take some decent shots from some hard punchers. Isaac Cruz, you know, Isaac Cruz is shown to have power in his past fights. And Rolly Romero, he took a couple of decent shots from a guy like Rolly, who we know, whether you say whatever you want about his skills, but we know that dude got real power, you know. Damon Bussy in the building, salute, what's good? Eric R in the building, what's good? Tank can't afford to hurt his hand versus Shakur. Oh, absolutely not. He got to be 100% healthy, you know. And that's a situation that, you know, something that you really can't prepare for, as far as like having an in-fight injury. Hopefully, if when that fight does happen, nothing like that goes down, both guys are fully healthy throughout the entire fight. You know, but Shakur is the type of guy that any mistake, any weakness you have, you know, anything that he see in your game that he can exploit, he will exploit it. So you definitely don't want to have no injury in there with Shakur, because he gonna take advantage of it. Shout out to the brother Ramon Clark in the building. What's good? Said, big bro, I just want to say, God bless you, and I'm proud of you, champ. Not just for being a boxing analyst, but showing young black brothers a positive way to live their life. Thanks, bro. Hey, man, that mean a lot, bro. Salute to you, dog. 100, bro. That mean a lot. Appreciate you for coming through and supporting, bro. I appreciate you, you know, giving us your presence, man. You know what I'm saying? Showing up on the channel, commenting, interacting. You feel me? Just supporting. I appreciate that. 100. You know what I mean? Shit, you can be doing anything on this Sunday morning, but shit, you right here talking this boxing with us. So I appreciate that. Said, what weight you think it'll be best for them to fight, 30, 35, or 40? I'm going to say 35. I'm going to say 35, man, because Tank Davis, you seen he came in at the weigh-in, 130, what was it, 132? 133? So he was ready, in fantastic shape. Shakur Stevenson is dominating 130 right now. I think he'll be at 35 not too long after. So I like Tank at 135. I really do. I think Tank is comfortable at 135. He isn't the old Tank that was getting high up in weight outside of fights. He isn't the guy who is unfocused, undisciplined. This is a whole different Tank. The Tank that we've been seeing over the last couple of years is extremely focused, mature, and disciplined. And this guy stays in shape year-round. You see he made weight so easy. He was in phenomenal shape. I think he'll be at 135 for a minute, and I think that's the best weight for him right now. I like him at 40 as well, but I think 135 is a money spot for Tank Davis. And I really believe that Shakur Stevenson, you know, I think he'll go for those other two titles at 30 if Bob Arum allows him to get his hands on those fights. I think he'll go for those last two titles, possibly become undisputed or at least a 3-belt champion, and then go ahead and get up there and fight Tank Davis at 35. I think that fight happens at 35. Said, did Haney go to Australia? Yeah, he already out there. Haney already out there, man. You know, we got another one coming up, man. Boxing is so lit right now, bro. Look at what we got going on week after week after week after week. Big fights. Entertaining matchups. You know what I'm saying? We got Undisputed next week. This coming up Saturday. Devin Haney. It's going to be Saturday for, I think it's Saturday for us. And then Sunday for them in Australia. I think, or maybe I got that shit backwards. Is it, I know for us in America, it's the 6th or the 5th. I forget. That shit kind of ass backwards. I forget. Shout out to the brother, Southpaw 773 TV in the building. What's good, man? What's happening? Wolf King Productions in the building. What's good? Yeah, boxing lit, bro. Like, Alicia Baumgartner versus Michaela Mayer coming up. Yes, sir. I heard about that. That's going to be a good one. Man. Unification match. That's a good one. But Devin Haney versus George Cambosis. It's going down. Another big fight that we have coming up in the mix. It's going down, bro. It's going down. And I cannot wait. Devin Haney already took that trip to Australia. Undisputed. We talking about 135 right now. And this is the Undisputed Championship of 135. This coming up weekend. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney versus George Cambosis. So we talking about legacy. We talking about competition at the highest level. You know. And Tank Davis, he did call out Devin Haney. He said he want the Devin Haney fight next. I think, even though Gervonta Tank Davis and his team, they really not in seeking titles and championships and shit like that. But at the same time, I think Devin Haney, if he goes out there, he puts on an incredible performance, he wins, becomes undisputed, that could garner some attention and put him in a position to get a Tank Davis fight for undisputed at 135. So it's a lot of things that can take place over the next, couple of weeks, couple of months. It's a lot of things that can transpire. Said Devin got to handle business. Big facts. Shout out to the brother Stephen Taylor in the building. Nazay in the building. What's good? You know what I'm saying? Sean Sherwood in the building. What's good? Said Tank destroys Haney. He very well can, man. In order for Devin Haney to beat a guy like Tank, he got to be perfect. Devin Haney got to be perfect for 12 rounds. He can't make no mistakes. He got to be absolutely perfect. I favor Tank in that fight. But I think Devin Haney has a chance. He has to be perfect. He has to be absolutely perfect. He cannot afford to make a mistake. Said Floyd not going to work with Top Rank. I can see that. I can see that being a huge roadblock. Said Devin will handle business in Australia. I believe so too. Man. I believe Devin Haney is just different mentally. You know what I'm saying? He might not have all this knockout power, but he definitely has the skills. He got the work ethic. He got all of the ability that he need to compete at this elite level, and especially to beat George Cambosis. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney is a different type of guy mentally. For him to concede to all of these, what a lot of people would call bad stipulations and disadvantages in that contract that he signed, having to go over there and fight Cambosis in Australia. Going over there and doing most of your training camp, if not all, and then possibly not having your father / trainer / manager / business partner, over there in your corner, looking out for you, making sure, the meals and everything is prepared correctly, making sure, everybody treating you right, making sure the businesses is being handled right, so you could just focus on training and focus on the fight. Making sure ain't nobody pulling no little slick bullshit, because who gonna look after you more than your parent? You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker that been with you your whole life. So for him to concede to all of these things, man, and still take that trip to Australia, that just lets you know that Devin Haney really want this shit. He really want to be great. He really want to be great. So just off of the strength of that, I commend Devin Haney for putting everything on the line. A lot of motherfuckers, undefeated fighters, young fighters, undefeated fighters, they not sacrificing all of that for a title. They not putting it all on the line like that. Keep in mind, y'all, this ain't no money fight. Devin Haney versus Cambosis, this ain't no money fight. Devin Haney not fighting Cambosis for money. He not finna get paid no, absurd amount of money to fight Cambosis. You dig what I'm saying? He not finna get paid no absurd amount of money to fight this dude. He going over there because he want them belts. He want to be undisputed. He want his name etched in the record books for his legacy. He really want that shit. You got to commend a guy like that. You dig? Let me see what y'all talking about. I said, sorry, I said how big Cambosis. Said, do we know what the purse is for Haney? I don't know. I haven't got those details, but trust me, I know it's not finna be nothing crazy. Devin Haney already been getting $1 million purses. He been getting $1 million purses since he was like 20. You know what I'm saying? He been getting $1 million purses and shit, 1.5s. Think he done got a 2 before. And he's still young and he ain't even really like got up on that level yet as far as fighting the Tank Davises or Shakur Stevenson. He ain't had no big blockbuster fight or nothing. He already been getting paid, but I don't think, look who we talking about. We talking about top ranked Bob Arum. I don't think he finna get paid nothing crazy. It ain't no pay-per-view fight. He ain't finna get paid nothing crazy, man. He going over there for them belts. Said Haney is all heart and the will to win, but his skills against top tier guys, I don't think he is skillfully there. We gonna see. Do you think Cambosis is a top tier guy? He got 3 belts. You know what I'm saying? And if Devin Haney go out there and he outclass Cambosis, then you got to give him his credit. You got to say, okay, he showed you that he got the skills versus a top tier guy. Cambosis in his prime right now. Cambosis just beat Teofimo Lopez, who a lot of y'all said is a top tier guy. So if Devin go out there and whoop on Cambosis, you might have to change your opinion on that. Yeah, Devin, shout out to the real songs in the build. Devin is a very skillful fighter, man. Very skillful. See, he got all the skills. He might not have all the power, but he got all the skills for sure. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button as you slide through. I appreciate you. But look, let's talk about Ryan Garcia. So, Ryan Garcia, I don't know what he was on last night. Ryan Garcia was wilding, man. Said Cam 10 mil, Dev 2.8. Ooh, okay. It's a nice little payday, but it ain't nothing crazy for everything that he going through. That ain't really, you know what I'm saying, 2.8 for everything that he conceding to. Nah. But they paying Cambosis 10 million? Boy, he robbing them. They paying Cambosis 10 mil? Boy, that's a robbery. That's a robbery. Who the fuck paying Cambosis $10 million? But look, I say this. Ryan Garcia was on some shit last night. Ryan Garcia, he was on some shit. He been hanging around Oscar too long. Ryan Garcia was on some shit last night, man. This dude bet ERROL Spence $20,000. He bet ERROL Spence $20,000 on Tank versus Rolly. Y'all heard ERROL Spence say, hey, man, don't play with me. I want my money. Don't play with me. It's on camera. Them boys shook on it. Ryan Garcia bet ERROL Spence $20,000 that Rolly was going to beat Tank. He had to be on some shit last night, man. He had to be on some shit. And then I seen also that he was talking to Leonard Ellaby. He was talking to Leonard Ellaby, saying that, hey, we can make the Tank Davis fight happen next. He talking about fuck Golden Boy. He said, fuck Golden Boy. You know what I'm saying? We don't care about you. I ain't worried about Golden Boy. I'm going to make this fight happen. Fuck Golden Boy. Let's do it. They shook on it. Ryan Garcia is shaking people's hands and making bets and promises. What's going on with Ryan Garcia? Do y'all believe Ryan Garcia this time? Is Ryan Garcia sincere this time? Do y'all believe him? Because remember, Ryan Garcia done pulled out at least 5 or 6 fights. At least. He done made a fake poster saying that he had the Manny Pacquiao fight done. You know what I'm saying? He had made a fake Manny Pacquiao poster talking about, oh, the fight done. You know, they had a date, a venue, all type of shit. Whole time, Manny Pacquiao like, I ain't signed nothing to fight this dude. He pulled out of the Fortuna fight. He pulled out of the Devin Haney when he got mandated to fight Devin Haney. He didn't want nothing to do with Isaac Cruz. He didn't want nothing to do with Jorge Linares. Now all of a sudden, he didn't want nothing to do with Tank. He was supposed to fight Tank. He didn't want nothing to do with Tank. Now this man on camera shaking hands talking about, yeah, we gonna make the fight happen. Fuck Golden Boy. I'ma make it happen. Do y'all believe Rolly? I mean, do y'all believe Ryan Garcia? Shout out to the brother J Harris Too Real coming through in that super chat, showing love. I appreciate it. My brother, he said, if Cambosis really is getting 10 mil, then good for him, his last payday before he lose them belts. Facts. Who the hell paying George Cambosis 10 mil? Boy, they just giving money away, ain't they? I ain't mad at him. Hey, get your bread, brother. But George Camp 10 million? Jesus. Shout out to the brother Papa Hog in the building. What's good? Hey, shout out to Arkansas. What's happening? $10 million? George Cambosis? Said 2 fights, Cambosis 20 mil, Dale 5.6. Damn, so he getting paid 10 million for both fights? Lord have mercy. George Cambosis? Boy. Hey, man, get your bread. But look, speaking of them having them 2 fights, I think it's up now. If they paying them that type of money, the rematch gonna happen. We might as well just book it. It's gonna happen. I was thinking that Devin Haney could put a beat down on Cambosis so bad that his ass don't want no parts of a rematch. But if they paying him like that, the rematch gonna happen. It don't matter. That motherfucker can get shit beat down his leg. You know, he can, goddamn get knocked out the ring or just get outclassed on some no mas type shit. He can get beat so bad, he gonna show up for that rematch for that other 10 million. Vic Moan in the building, what's good? Shout out to LA. Said, boys getting Spence paydays. Facts. Damn. Off one fight? That's tough. Said the rematch definitely happened. Renique 313 in the building, what's good, brother? Appreciate you for pulling up. Said the rematch definitely happened. Yeah, man. That's definitely gonna happen. Ain't no way Cambosis is gonna let that money slide like that. Said Cam selling the belts. Yeah, but you know what? Hey, when you put yourself in a position, see, people can say what they want about, say, Tank Davis. Now, I love Tank Davis, but they don't prioritize titles. But those titles hold leverage. Those titles hold leverage, man, and you can use that as a bargaining tool to up your payday. Shout out to the brother Coach Joe in the building. You can use that as a bargaining tool to get paid. So when you got guys like Devin Haney, who is in hot pursuit of greatness and legacy, and does everything to make a fight of this magnitude, if you the guy that's holding them titles, man, you can use that as a major move to be able to get paid. So I think when it comes down to, let's say Devin Haney, he win these titles, he's able to defend in a rematch to keep them. I think a Tank Davis and Devin Haney fight for undisputed is very possible. But we got to see how that whole top rank contract shakes out. We might even get a Shakur Stevenson in Devin Haney fight for undisputed. He already over there with top rank. That's possible. That's possible. Shout out to my brother, Big Tex 33 in the building. What's good, bro, man? I appreciate you for pulling up on me, dog. Always good to have you in the building, man. Jay Gutter 34 in the building. What's good? Did Tank ever speak on why he screamed during the 4th or 5th round after throwing a punch? I don't know. I gotta go back and check on that. I gotta go back and watch the cause I watched like on Fight Hype, they had like the some broken down versions of the post-fight interview, but I didn't watch it in totality. So I gotta go back and watch that and see if he did talk about that. Shout out to the brother JT Comedy in the building. What's good? What's happening, man? Appreciate y'all for pulling up. Said Australia gets a high prize fight every 5 years, so everyone is coming out to see that fight. 10 mil is not surprising. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they can cover that shit at the gate. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they cover it at the gate. It depends on what those tickets gonna look like. So, I mean, when you put it like that, brother, you got a point. You know, if they rarely have these type of events in Australia, you make the ticket prices on, you know what I'm saying? You make them ticket prices high enough to where you get 30,000, 40,000 in there. I don't know the capacity of that Marvel Stadium that they got out there. I don't know if they're going to fill that motherfucker up. I think it's going to be a good turnout, though. You know, Devin Haney is known internationally. Of course, that's Cambosis. He's from Australia. So, let's say they put 40, maybe even 50,000 people in there. You make them ticket prices high as fuck because this type of event don't come around that often. You might be able to cover that at the gate. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't no pay-per-view fight, so you're not finna get no back-end money off no pay-per-view sales. So all that shit they really doing is gonna be straight off the gate. So them ticket prices probably gonna cost you a nice penny. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the brother G5 Gabe in that super chat coming through and showing love. He said, Dallas, bro, offering dudes, keep cooking and dropping dope content. Appreciate that, dog. Appreciate that, bro. You keep doing the same, dog. Keep doing your thing, bro. We need quality content out here on this boxing shit, man. You know, keep putting out that good work, man. Said Rolly came in, feeling himself, walking out to Prince, left playing all falls down. Left playing all falls down. Kanye said Rolly's tickets seemed expensive. Him C Claim 2 in the building. Salute to you, man. Appreciate you for pulling up. Said Tank said he missed a perfect shot. Yeah, that shot that he hit Rolly with, man, it wasn't even that wasn't even Tank's best punch. I don't even think he got him. He hit him clean, but it was kind of like one of those escape punches. He set him up for a trap, and he was kind of using that punch to escape, to kind of allow him, boom, and then get out the way. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of one of those just escape, left hook just real quick. Let me set you up. You overextended, boom, and then let me get out that motherfucker. But when Tank touch you, though, that shit different. Even when he don't load up or put everything on it. That's what makes Tank Davis different. Like, he got those fast twitch genes. He got those abilities where no matter what foot he's leaning on more dominant, no matter what position he's in, he can throw a great punch out of any type of position that he's in. Always gonna get decent leverage on the shot, even if he's sort of off balance. That's just the type of, and he's got great hand speed. So that bitch coming with some velocity. You gonna feel that punch no matter how, you know, where he's leaning. You know, if he off the back foot coming forward, you know, kind of in a rhythm, no matter what angle he coming from, he gonna hit your ass with something. Yeah, you never know what punch will be effective. Facts. You never know. You never know. Cruz Digital in the building was good. Said, oh my God, the Tank hype is crazy. Can't wait for him to fight Shakur or Haney. Hey, man, look, I think the Tank Davis hype is warranted. But I also agree that I can't wait for him to fight Shakur or Haney. because those are fights that I want to see. Those are his peers. Those are the guys. Those are the guys that we view as competition for Tank. And those fights need to happen. Those fights absolutely have to happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't buy into Leonard Ellaby saying that Haney, these guys ain't gonna do no big pay-per-view, or these guys can't sell. You know what I'm saying? I don't buy into Leonard Ellaby trying to tell me that Isak Cruz is gonna bring in more fanfare or revenue than Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney, or Mario Barrios is gonna bring in more fanfare or revenue than Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney, or Rolly Romero is gonna bring in more fanfare. Yeah, the build up was nice. Rolly talk a lot of shit, so that does help. However, people want to see Tank Davis fight Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Vasyl Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez. That's who the fans want to see. And if Tank can bring a crowd out versus Rolly Romero, he gonna bring a crowd out with Shakur Stevenson. If he can bring a crowd out with Isak Cruz, he gonna bring a crowd out with Devin Haney. You dig what I'm saying? If he can bring a crowd out with Gamboa, he gonna bring a crowd out with Vasyl Lomachenko. So I don't buy into, oh, we making these fights because these are the fan-friendly fights that's gonna sell. Nah, I don't buy into that. I want to see him in there with the best competition. And I think Tank want that shit. Tank want those fights. But I also believe that he cool with sticking to the game plan. I made a video how I said that Tank Davis got the best team in boxing. I made that video last year? Before he was actually coming out saying I got the best team in boxing type shit. But the reason I said that is because their goal in mind for Tank and how they moving him. If they trying to build a pay-per-view star, if they trying to build a guy that's an attraction, that can sell tickets and be a household name, if that's what they're trying to do, they're doing a great job of that. So, and they're matchmaking him well, putting him in fights that he can win. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the brother Pool Counter Boxing in the building, man. What's good? Pool Counter Boxing, one of the best boxing channels on YouTube, man. Talks boxing thoroughly and breaks down fights, and gives you the film as well. You know what I'm saying? He gonna break it down technically and give you the film with it too, man. If y'all ain't subscribed to Pool Counter Boxing, make sure y'all subscribe to Pool Counter Boxing, man. Very, very intellectual boxing channel, man. You can learn some shit going over there fucking with him, man. 4-dimensional in the building was good. Said if Rolly learns the fundamentals, he can be dangerous with that power. I totally agree. I agree. Rolly, like I said, I don't want to say I was impressed, but I was pleasantly surprised that Rolly, was able to be disciplined for those first 5 or 6 rounds. I was pleasantly surprised that Rolly was, not super overzealous or not overextending himself like he normally do in fights. He was patient. Seemed like he was dedicated to working the jab. I liked his ability to use his size to cover ground and kind of, always be physically imposing. He was cutting off the ring pretty well with Tank too. Said Rolly needed a new coach. Facts. Rolly definitely need a new coach. Just use Bullet. Use him as like your hype man or something. I don't take him away, because I think that dynamic that they got, it works, because Rolly is Rolly look throwed off and Bullet is throwed off too. I think they mesh well. He needs somebody like that who believe in him. All the shit that Rolly be saying and all the shit Bullet be saying, that shit be aligning. You know what I'm saying? They both be talking some wild shit. So I think he needs somebody like that that's gonna believe in him. You know what I'm saying? Like a hype man type shit. But they need to bring somebody in that can help him with the fundamentals. Help him get his jab game up. You know what I'm saying? Help him bring some different shots behind the jab. Help him work on some different type of counters. He needs somebody that's gonna help him cultivate his skills, man, because he got, Rolly's not a bad fighter. He's not a terrible fighter. He definitely ain't the best, but he's not a terrible fighter. Rolly got potential, man. And for him to have started boxing at 17, man, he got some real potential. He got real potential. And anytime you got power, that's always something that can win you fights. Now, when you get in there with somebody that's elite like Tank, you can't just rely on that shit. But when you have power, that's something that you can always build on. You can always build on that. So you think Rolly should leave Mayweather Promotions? Nah, I don't think he should leave Mayweather Promotions. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if he finds a better deal out there for him, somebody who gonna get him better fights, then so be it. Do that. I'm all for fight. I'm pro fighter. You feel me? I am pro fighter. I want to see the fighter win. I want to see the fighter in the best positions so they can succeed. So if Rolly can find a situation for him, no matter who is, I don't give a fuck what the network is or the promotional outfit. If he can find a situation for him that helps him get the big fights, by all means, go ahead and do that. But I don't necessarily think that. I think he need to bring in another trainer. You know what I'm saying? He need to bring in another trainer for sure. Said, do all promoters take advantage of the boxers? I think everybody in the sport of boxing, the business of boxing, take advantage of each other. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the brother South Phoenix Rising in the building. What's good? Said, facts, Rolly needs to be developed and have easy matchmaking. He can have a solid career like Ricardo Mayorga. No shame in that. That's facts, man. That's facts. Yeah, I think everybody, hey, boxing is a wicked business, man. I think all these guys, you get in where you can fit in. Like we just got done talking about George Cambosis. He's getting paid $10 million. $10 million? Just 24 months ago, nobody knew what the fuck George Cambosis was. And he getting paid $10 million a piece to fight Devin Haney? That's tough. $10 million? That's tough. Nobody knew who the fuck George Cambosis was. I'd say George Cambosis is taking advantage of the promoters because he got them belts. You feel me? George Cambosis is the one taking advantage of the promoters this time. So, George Cambosis taking advantage of Devin Haney because Devin Haney want those belts. So he making them come over there to Australia, twice. Everybody in boxing, everybody get in where they fit in. It's a ruthless business. And motherfuckers gonna do what's best to get their pocket seen about. Chino is dope. Salute to you, my brother. What's good? Said, not for nothing, Rolly did better than I expected. Tank is just on another level. Facts. I totally agree, bro. Rolly, like I said, man, I liked his demeanor. I liked the energy that he brought into the fight. I could tell that he got up for the fight. He was focused. He was focused. You know what I'm saying? He was there mentally. And I think had the fight lasted past, 8, 9, 10, could have got real interesting. Now, I do believe that the longer the fight went on, the better it was going to be for Tank because he got the experience fighting late in fights. He got the experience in big, high-profile fights under the light. We know it's different when you get under those lights. All that, sparring and training and, one-punch media workouts and shit like that, it's different when you get up under those lights and you in there with a real killer. So I feel like the longer that fight went on, it would have favored Tank even more because he's shown that he can make adjustments. He's shown that he can take weapons away from his opponent, strip them down, and make them fight with things, make them have to find a way to beat him without their best shit. Tank has already shown those type of things. So the longer that fight went on, the worse it was going to get for Rolly. However, he did put up a good account of himself. Rolly got nothing to be embarrassed about. Yeah, you talked all that shit. Yeah, you said you was going to knock him out in the first round. yeah, you know, you did all this woofing, but at the same time, I understand that we need that in the sport of boxing. We need that type of energy. We need guys talking themselves up, promoting fights, bringing that, you know, that WWE type of energy outside the ring. When you get in the ring, we want to see real action, real skill, real ability. But outside the ring, we need those Keith Thurman personalities. We need those Blair Cobbs and those Rolly Romero personalities. Just be about your shit when it come time to fight. That's all that is. Just be about your shit when it come time to fight. I don't mind guys talking a lot of shit. I don't mind fighters, you know, building themselves up, hyping themselves up. We need that. I love those type of personalities. That's entertainment. At the end of the day, this is about entertainment. But when you get in that ring, though, just be on your shit, though. That's all I ask as a boxing fan, sincerely. Bring that same energy you had outside the ring. Yeah, bring that shit in the ring. Said, do Devin Haney have support over there? I mean, what you mean? Like, do he got other people over there with him? I know he got people over there with him. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you asking, I don't know if you asking, are there gonna be like American fighters going over there to support? I know ERROL Spence said that he plans on going to that fight. ERROL Spence has said publicly that you know, he plans on going out there to Australia to support Devin Haney. I believe Shakur Stevenson might pull up to that fight. He already talking about he gonna bet some money on Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? You know, Shakur Stevenson, I posted that on Instagram. Shakur Stevenson said he gonna bet a bag on Devin Haney. He talking about, man, what the odds looking like. You know what I'm saying? He trying to see how much he can win on Devin Haney. You know, so I'm really hoping that some notable guys show up and show love to Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? I remember when ERROL Spence went overseas to fight Kell Brook, and it was nobody over there except Sean Porter and Kenny Porter. Now, Sean Porter was doing like some commentary, I believe. I think that's when he was first starting, like, or maybe he was just, I think he had like something going on over there, but Kenny Porter was extremely supportive of ERROL Spence when he went over there and fought Kell Brook. It was just really ERROL Spence and Derrick James and the Porters. If I don't know if y'all remember, but if you go back and watch the ERROL Spence and Kell Brook fight, you can hear Kenny Porter like, get him, Earl. Use the jab, Earl. Walk him down. You know what I'm saying? You can literally hear Kenny Porter like screaming at the top of his lungs in full support for ERROL Spence. You know what I'm saying? So that was nice to see. It's good to have that type of energy, especially when you got, you know, one of the top fighters from your country or from wherever, you know what I'm saying, going overseas or going to a foreign place, and they have a huge fight like that. I would love to see for Devin Haney to get that same type of support from, you know, American fighters, American trainers. I know it's gonna be. I ain't got no money to go to fucking Australia. You know what I'm saying? But you know, so I know regular fans like you and I, we probably don't have the resources and the means to be able to do that. So it'll be nice if he can have like some, you know, some heavy hitters over there, man. Some guys, you know, that like when you look in the crowd and you see that guy, you like, okay, yeah, I gotta turn up. I see that guy, okay, now, oh yeah, he pulled up. Oh yeah, I gotta go crazy. It's just nice to have that type of energy. I'm pretty sure when ERROL Spence was over there, when he was you know, out there in Bramall Lane fighting Kell Brook, and he walking down, motherfuckers throwing chocolate brownies at him and calling him all type of names and all type of shit. And then when he get in that ring, you know, everybody in the crowd, they rooting against you, but you can hear Kenny Porter, a familiar voice, a guy that, you know, trained you in the amateurs. You feel me? A guy that that you have a history where you can hear that. That's good to have when you over there in foreign territory. That's good to have. I hope Devin Haney has that same thing. And hopefully I don't know if y'all got any news lately in regard to Bill Haney being allowed to go to Australia, but hopefully that gets worked out as well. Said going to Australia from out here is a 16-hour flight. I don't feel comfortable being on a flight that long. Me neither, bro. Me neither. That shit don't sound fun to me at all. One day, man, I'd like to I'd like to travel, the world and be able to, go to Africa and, goddamn Paris and all these different type of places and shit like that. And I know them flights long as fuck. That shit don't sound fun to me though. I wish I could just snap my motherfucking finger and be over there. That 16 hours, that don't sound fun to me at all. SB Thundercat in the building. What's good? Said mega fight, but I gotta give it to Tank in the end. That power is a great equalizer. Facts. Said take the Mike Tyson relaxer. take the Mike Tyson relaxer and you'll be good. Just let Mike Tyson tap you on the chin, man. You gonna sleep through the whole flight, huh? Shit. Said, speaking of the crowds against you, it looked like Rolly was caught off guard by all the boos last night. I don't know why. He had to know going out there, fucking with Tank. Them people came to see Tank. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Them folks came out there for Tank. He shouldn't have been caught off guard. But I can understand that, like I said, it's different when you get under those lights and when you actually in that ring and shit. What's about to happen and you hear all those cheers for Tank. I mean, they really showed up for Tank, man. Tank really bring out a crowd. Tank can really bring out a crowd, man. And the impressive thing for me is that he does it in different locations. Remember the crowd? Remember the energy in the Mercedes arena? No, that was a State Farm Arena in Atlanta. Y'all remember the energy that when Tank fought Barrios? Remember that energy in Atlanta? Phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? New York, turned up. Yeah, they had Madonna in there. Turned up. You feel me? He does this in different locations. Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Tank Davis will bring a crowd out, man. He's doing it in multiple locations. Multiple locations. So I think that's a testament to Tank's fan-friendly style, his ability to draw fanfare. Very pleasing to watch. People love to see knockouts. People love to see knockouts. People love to see hand speed. People love to see athleticism, explosiveness. Tank Davis don't do a whole lot of talking. So when people show up to a Tank Davis fight, they know they getting action. Shout out to the brother Dalen Chopper in the building. What's good? Said, who would you like to see Tank and Rolly fight next? If I had it my way, Tank would fight Shakur Stevenson next. Or Devin Haney for undisputed. But we know they tied up. So if I had it my way, considering all the landscape of everything, Tank Davis would fight Shakur Stevenson next. And Rolly would fight Ryan Garcia next. If I had it my way, it would be Tank versus Shakur Stevenson next at 35. And it'll be Rolly versus Ryan Garcia. Or maybe even Eastside Cruz. Said Tank literally put folks to sleep on the ropes. Tank versus Haney should be next for all the marbles. Yeah, man. That would be in a perfect world for me. That would be perfect. But I know that Devin Haney he's gonna have to fight. And if they really paying Cambosis 10 mil in the first fight and the rematch, that rematch gonna happen. I don't give a damn if Devin Haney knock a eyeball out of Cambosis' head, you know what I'm saying? Like physically impair him to the point where, he might not even be able to fight again. He gonna show up for that rematch. 10 million? Oh, he gonna show up for that rematch. So Devin Haney off the table. He tied up with Cambosis. In a perfect world, though, it would be Tank versus Devin Haney just because it's undisputed. That's what we want to see here at Contender Regime Boxing. We want to see the best fight the best. We want to see undisputed. Shakur made a point and said the Gervonta fight is too soon. Shakur said that? I seen Shakur said, I'm the only one that can beat Tank Davis. Said, I will wait for Tank and Shakur until late next year or early 2024. I can see that. Now, look, being realistic about it, we know that Shakur, he got business to hound at 130. You feel me? And I would like to see that fight at 35. So, realistically speaking, Shakur, try to get undisputed at 130. Get those other 2 titles. Tank Davis, if you can make that Devin Haney fight for undisputed, make it happen. Or go ahead and knock Ryan Garcia off. Go ahead and settle the score with Vasil Lomachenko. Tank got options, man. Tank got options. Tank has legit options. Shout out to the brother Ramad King in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said, that boy Tank had Rolly on the ropes like Martin. I know you heard Rolly post-fight. That man got a concussion because he's straight delusional. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. He talking about, man, I won all 6 rounds and I exposed him. I embarrassed him and he just caught me with a clean shot. Like, that ain't what you supposed to do in boxing. Like, oh, he just caught me with a clean shot. Motherfucker, that's what he done trained 10 weeks for. That he been in the gym 8 to 10 weeks training to catch your ass with more than 1 clean shot. That's what he been training for. The same shit you been training for. To catch a motherfucker with a clean shot on the chin. That's what he did. And to be honest with you, it wasn't even that wasn't even his best shot. That was, like I said, that was just like a little escape punch. Let me get out the way real quick. And that bitch put your ass down, had you in there with them jelly legs, man. Had you in there looking crazy. That wasn't even Tank best shit. Yeah, it was his dominant hand, but, he didn't even really lean into that bitch like that. He just caught your ass trying to escape out, get up out that corner. And still dropped you. So, yeah, man, Rolly, I told y'all, man, I don't know if it's confidence or delusion. Maybe it's a little bit of both. A little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? Said you rock with Freddie Gibbs. I fuck with Freddie Gibbs. Shout out to Mordecai the Great. Yeah, I fuck with Freddie Gibbs, for sure. Said Rolly. He said Rolly leaned into that motherfucker. Yeah, man. He did. That's true. That's true. When you think about it, his own momentum is what probably made that, exaggerated that punch even more. Made that shit even more dangerous. Because, a quick, hard shot like that, and then plus you leaning into that motherfucker, yeah. Yeah, man. That'll do it. That'll do it. That'll do it, man. I said Tank should be charged for fighting with lethal weapons. Said, who is out there for Shakur at 130 that have names other than Colbert and Navarrete? I mean, shit, them the guys. Colbert, Navarrete, them is the guys at 130. Who is who got the other 2 belts? Who got them other 2 belts? I forget the dude's name. And I think it's like some Hispanic guy. Who got them other 2 belts? Ain't one of them like a vacant title, ain't it? At 130? Somebody put in the comments, man, who got them other 2 belts at 130? Kerry Roy in the building. Salute, was good. Said Rolly said all Tank did was hit me with clean. Exactly, Eric R. Said all Tank did was hit me with clean, effective punches. Ring generalship, hit and not get hit. The sweet science outside of that. Yo. Hey, bro, you wild as hell. He said, Rolly, all Tank did was hit me with clean, effective punches, ring generalship, hit and not get hit. You know, the sweet science. But outside of that, he didn't really do shit. I mean, damn, he did everything he supposed to do. Hey, shout out to my brother Eclectic Agitator in the building. What's good? What's good? Said the guy who beat Colbert looks good at 30. Yeah, he did. He did. Said Roger Gutierrez has the other belt at 130. Okay. Yeah, I think Shakur should go after him. Go ahead and get the belts, man. You know, go ahead and get the belts. Nobody can really complain when you unifying and you becoming undisputed. Nobody can really complain, you know, because we know Shakur want all the smoke with everybody. He chased down Oscar Valdez's ass to 2 weight classes, chased him down, and went out there and did what he supposed to do. You know, he chased down Josh Warrington when he had the belts at 126. Warrington didn't want no smoke. He wanted Miguel Burchell. You know, he won't Tank. He want all the top guys. You know, but in the meantime, go ahead and get them belts. Can't nobody really complain about that. You know, you becoming undisputed. You know, who really gonna complain with you? You know, stacking them chips. Can't nobody really say nothing and criticize that when we know you really want the smoke. And you in a division that you're supposed to be in right now. Can't nobody really complain about that. So I say go ahead and get on Gutierrez's ass. Take that title off him. And try to get that 4th one. Hey, man, become undisputed at 130. Said Tank need to give Cruz a full camp and fight him. Come on, man. Come on, man. Said Tank need to give Cruz a full camp and fight him again. Look, I like Isaac Cruz. I'm a huge Isaac Cruz fan, man. I like his attitude. He always smiling. You know what I'm saying? But he a killer when he get in that ring. Great energy, man. Isaac Cruz just seemed like a great guy, and I love his style. You know what I'm saying? I'm a huge fan of Isaac Cruz. But, man, I don't want to see Tank fight him again unless Isaac Cruz go get a title or something, or he beat like Haney or Stevenson or somebody like that. You feel me? Like, I don't want to see. Do y'all want to see Isaac Cruz versus Tank again? Like, when is other fights that we want to see Tank fight? You know, maybe down the line. He young. He still got time. But I don't think that's a fight that I thought Tank beat him clearly with one hand. I don't want to see Tank Davis versus Isaac Cruz again. It was fun. It was a good fight, you know. But Tank Davis outboxed him. Said, I love that these kids want to become undisputed, solidify their era. Yeah, man. See, that's the thing. That's the thing, bruh. That type of energy, especially from the young guys who are currently in position, we ain't talking about like old fighters or, you know, like motherfuckers having unrealistic expectations for themselves. We talking about guys who are literally at the top of their game, the top fighters in the sport, who are really in position to become undisputed, and they chasing that. That sends a message to the up-and-coming fighters. And it also sends a message to the guys who've been around, like Jamal Charlo, who we want to see step up and really, you know, go for the gusto like Jermell does. You know, it sends a message to the younger guys coming up and the guys who've been around that, hey, this is what it's about. It's about greatness. Yeah, you want to get paid too. And people act like you can't do both at the same time. You can chase legacy and get paid at the same time. You can do that. It don't gotta be one or the other. And most times, more often than not, they both work hand in hand. When you chasing the big fights, the money come with it. So I love that these fighters are prioritizing Undisputed, because it's important for boxing fans, for us to like think about over the last couple of years, man. We done had more Undisputed fights than I can remember since I've been watching boxing. I ain't never seen this many Undisputed fights. Like going all the way back, go back to Clarissa Shields becoming undisputed in 2 weight classes. Josh Taylor. You know what I'm saying? You had Canelo and Caleb Plant. You feel what I'm saying? You had Jamel Charlo, Brian Castano. We about to have ERROL Spence and Terrence Crawford do some shit that ain't never been done at welterweight. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, this is incredible shit. This is incredible stuff. And we need this. We need that type of energy in the sport. Because we talk about, man, we wish we had tournaments so we can finally see who the best. You know what I'm saying? So we can finally see, so we can actually see who the best. Well, when the top fighters are chasing Undisputed, you gonna find out who the best is. You gonna find out. You gonna find out. You gonna find out, man. Oh, Terrence Crawford, Undisputed. You know what I'm saying? Alexander Usyk, Undisputed. Like, this is incredible. Katie Taylor, Undisputed. Jessica McCaskill, Undisputed. You dig what I'm saying? This is incredible shit, man. Incredible shit. Incredible shit. Said Ray Leonard and Hearns. Well, I'm talking about in the 4-belt era. I don't think Ray Leonard and Hearns was undisputed at welterweight. I could be wrong. I don't think they was though. But I'm talking about in the 4-belt era, because remember Zab Judah, he was technically undisputed, even though they had 4 belts. They gave him the title undisputed when he beat Spinks, Zab Judah. But I don't think Hearns and Leonard did undisputed at 47. I'm not saying that that's a fact. I'm just, from my recollection, I don't think it was. I could be wrong though. Said you even got Manny regretting never doing it. Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. I mean, this is incredible stuff, man. This is what the sport of boxing is all about. I think we're entering we have entered a golden age of boxing where fighters want to be great again. You know what I'm saying? Fighters want to be the best again, man. And you know what it took? It took for, after Floyd, it took that string of a few years for examples to be made that y'all ain't Floyd Mayweather. You not finna be, what Floyd did was some generational shit to be able to, to beat the top fighters and then milk the game for everything, for every fucking penny, and make $300 million and shit like that, in a matter of 30 minutes. Like, wild shit. That shit ain't finna happen like that. You gotta do what Floyd did to even think about getting to a point like that. So these fighters, it took a couple of years for fighters to realize, like, hey man, we ain't Floyd. We not finna just jump out the gate and get what Floyd get, and we ain't put in the work. Now these young fighters are realizing, hey man, I gotta actually like put the work in. I gotta actually go be great. I gotta actually like want to be the best. You feel me? Devin Haney said something very interesting on an ESPN interview, I think it was last year or the year before, where he said, I'm pretty boy Floyd Mayweather. Not in terms of skills, but he said, all these guys want to be Money Mayweather. I want to be pretty boy Floyd Mayweather, because that's when Floyd was calling out all the top guys. That's when Floyd was doing everything he had to do to prove he was the best. He wanted all the smoke. You know what I'm saying? Giving you fan-friendly fights. Beat motherfuckers up. You know what I'm saying? Just going through all the lengths to show greatness. He said, that's who I want to be. I want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy that just sit around trying to get paydays. I want to be the guy that's chasing greatness. That's me right now. When Devin Haney said that, I knew his mentality was different from a lot of these young fighters. But now we starting to see that energy is infectious. And, you know, everybody's starting to take on that same type of mentality. Keith Thurman versus Ennis. I'm going to do, hey, y'all stay tuned. I got a video coming up on Keith Thurman and Jaron Ennis. I hope that fight get made. I highly doubt, and I hope I'm wrong, but I highly doubt that Keith Thurman takes that fight. However, I believe that with ERROL Spence and Terrence Crawford, what they got going on, and this is a big if, but Keith Thurman, I believe that there is a possibility that he would take the Ennis fight because, shout out to the brother Phil J508, there's a possibility that he takes that fight because he understands that he's on the outside looking in. He wish he can be where ERROL Spence and Terrence Crawford at right now. He wish he was a part of that. And he see how Earl's treating him like, man, fuck you. ERROL Spence giving Jaron Ennis more energy than he giving Keith Thurman. ERROL Spence actually entertaining the idea of fighting Jaron Ennis. Showing up to the fight. Of course, he was there for Jamel. But, you know, shit, they talking back and forth from the crowd to the ring. ERROL Spence is always giving Jaron Ennis his credit. You know what I'm saying? ERROL Spence was one of the first top fighters to acknowledge Jaron Ennis, even when Keith Thurman act like he never even fucking heard of Jaron Ennis. ERROL Spence on FaceTime with Gilly and Jaron, like, yeah, your time coming. It's a respect there, but ERROL, you know, ERROL feel like, hey, I'm just on another level. Like he said, you better be careful what you catch if you going fishing. You feel me? But ERROL Spence, ain't that crazy how ERROL Spence entertaining Jaron Ennis more than fucking Keith Thurman? Keith Thurman don't like that shit. So I believe that with Keith Thurman being on the outside looking in, I think he's going to come to a realization that the only way he going to get some type of respect from a Terrence Crawford or ERROL Spence, the only way he going to get his foot back in the door, the only way he going to garner that respect from the boxing world in general is if he go beat a guy like Jaron Ennis. And I'm going to tell you right now, you better get him. I don't think Keith, I'm going to go in depth on this video. I don't think Keith really fucking with him right now. But Keith is a seasoned veteran, a former world champion, unified world champion. Got a lot of experience. Jaron Ennis still ain't been past the 6th round. So Keith Thurman definitely got a chance. I would favor Jaron Ennis, but Keith Thurman definitely got a chance though. You know what I'm saying? So if Keith Thurman gonna fight Jaron Ennis, you better get him right now. You better get him right now. You gotta get him right now. So it's a possibility that Keith takes that fight, but I'm a do a little bit more research. And I'm going to break that fight down thoroughly, the possibility of it. I'm going to do a video specifically on that, on the potential of that fight happening, man, and just kind of get y'all thoughts and ideas on that. Because I think that is a great matchup. A great matchup, and it would do wonders for Keith Thurman. It would do wonders for Jaron Ennis. And I think that fight gives both fighters what they looking for. You know what I'm saying? That fight give both fighters what they looking for. But, man, I'm finna go ahead and get on up out of here. Look, thank you for everybody that pulled up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the super chat. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate your support, 100. Everybody in the regular chat just chopping it up, man. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already. It's greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. We got more videos coming. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep cooking, man. We're going to keep building up the big fights. Devin Haney versus Cambosis Undisputed coming up this weekend. You know, we got ERROL Spence and Terrence Crawford. We're going to continue to build that fight up. You know, that fight is moments away. So, y'all stay tuned, man. Y'all have a great Sunday, great weekend, man. Contender regime, boxing. I'll holler at y'all.